All right, it's been a year, whole freaking year, since this godforsaken truck has been on the road. Last video I showed you guys the transmission had slipped on me literally just once, but this being an important build to me, I decided to go ahead and park the truck. Parked it for the better end of a year before I could finally get the funds together and find the most reliable shop that I could. And where I live here in Arizona, we have a group on Facebook, Powerstrokes of Arizona. And once I had finally gotten the money together, I went ahead and asked all those guys on there, you know, who should I take the transmission to? I need somebody reliable that'll do a good job. And I ended up taking the transmission to Justin Norpel here in Phoenix, in Phoenix, Arizona. I'm actually not in Phoenix myself. And he rebuilt the trans, done a phenomenal job. Dual disc torque converter, excuse the rack. So there's a lot of crap in the bed of the truck right now. Kind of do a walkthrough of what we got going with the truck. I'm not really going to do a whole lot of DIYs just because there's plenty of that crap on YouTube. If I find something where nobody else has done it and I'm in the middle of doing it, then I'll go ahead and show a bit of a DIY video. So along with the transmission, I went ahead and got the trans cooler for the, I believe it was the 03 to 07 6.0 Powerstroke. So that's here in the box. I'll be installing that with the transmission. I got the exhaust I got to put into. I went ahead and took this exhaust tip here. It was all chopped up. The exhaust shop that I used up here in the White Mountains kind of did a crappy job. So it originally was black. The truck is more of a Ratrod apocalyptic theme. So I sanded the tip down, did a dry coat of vinegar, and then I sprayed peroxide over it. And that gave me kind of this runny, old, weathered look to it. And then I'm debating on doing a bullnose swap on the front end from an 84 Ford if I can find one. So we'll do a video on that. Under the hood, I went ahead and removed the fuel pump, fuel bowl. Might go ahead and buy the I gotta buy the dang donuts for the exhaust up pipes back there to go ahead and replace them while I'm in here. When I was doing the fuel pump, I went ahead and when I got in here, I have the turbo out because I have a DIY balancer kit from KC Turbos here in Arizona that I'm going to be installing. So I went ahead and pulled everything, and I was like, well, the fuel pump, who knows? After looking at all the fuel system in here and everything being gunked up, I'm just going to go ahead and replace it. Might go with an air dog, I'm not too sure yet. But when I was replacing the fuel pump, the aluminum cast housing on the fuel pump actually was snapped down inside of the block. So let me see if I can find the fuel pump. Okay, so here it is. The fuel pump, this little piece here is not exactly supposed to come out. The lifter rod is, but you can see kind of the break on the aluminum housing. This little piece right here that slides up and down the lifter rod is not supposed to be there. It's supposed to be attached to the housing, and it's an old brake, so it's a good thing that I pulled it. But I'm kind of over the fuel bowl mechanical pump thing. I would really prefer going electric, so that might be in the future too. One thing I have done that I'm going to do a video on is these are 2007 Duramax tow mirrors, and I'm in the process today of pulling the mirrors and sanding the door so that I can go ahead and install these tomorrow. And I got these plates with them, well, separate order, but I got these to go with them. These are from OBS Solutions. They make the custom brackets for the Duramax tow mirror conversion for an OBS Ford. So they basically are going to go in this area here. So I got to sand all that. Got to pull the glass out just so I don't get any splatter on it. That way everything's out of the way. It's all nice and clean. We got a new starter going in. There's the new fuel pump. OBS Solutions sends you a whole wiring diagram, how to do it, all the brackets, the bolts. Riffraff Diesel, I have the, what is that called? That's it's a T-clamp for the turbo exhaust downpipe. I have the EBP delete pedestal, as well as the back housing for the turbo. New trans filter, metal gasket. I originally replaced the metal gasket with a plastic. That was a big mistake, so I went ahead and got a new metal gasket for the trans pan. Let's see what else. I currently have the TS6 position chip in the truck, and I ran it for 6 months. Everything's dirty in here. It's just a filthy mess. But I ran the TS6 position for 6 months, and with the stage 1 injectors, the KC turbo upgrade, the exhaust, and everything that I'm doing in here, I went ahead and decided to go with a PHP, or the hydra chip. So I picked up the hydra chip while I was down in Phoenix, Arizona, let's see, yesterday. So we will be doing the possibly custom tunes from Jelly Belly. I might, for right now, just go ahead and download whatever Hydra offers for the time being, and then do the Jelly Belly tunes later on. And then I got to figure something out with this front end. I really am not a big fan of the front squat on this truck. It's not that big of a difference, but you can see the back there, and then the front. I do have new shocks in here. Everything on the front end's semi-good, but I might add a leaf or give it a raised leveling kit. I also got, it's hard to remember what I got. I've just been ordering things the last couple weeks online. I got the transmission pan. I replaced that with one that has a drain plug. I was going to go with the deep one, but $500 for a deep pan, come on, man. So I just went with the transmission pan that has a drain plug, because factory, these damn things didn't come with a drain plug on them. I also got new boost boots from Riffraff, because the old ones, they just were worn out. I'm sure they were causing some kind of a leak, just because they've never been changed out, and they were pretty bad. You can see down here everything that I've pulled off, the turbo pedestal, the boots, and these old boots. I mean, that one was pushed in at one time and wasn't actually doing what it's supposed to. There are some nicks. It's just kind of dried out and flimsy. So I got new boots. Okay, so this is the problem. I apologize for the cut on that video. This is the problem when you record everything off your phone that has a 10-minute recording max. Anyways, so all the boots will be replaced. Today I'm going to spend the day working on taking everything apart, getting the door prepped for the new Duramax tow mirrors. I really like the way those mirrors look, and it's just always nice to have extended mirrors, especially hauling the horses around that we have. So yeah, what I'll probably do is I'll go ahead and strip the door down, and then tomorrow when we mount these things on, I'll kind of go through what we've done and what we're doing. One thing I do know that I recommend is if you go ahead and do the Duramax tow mirror swap and you get the conversion plate, the way that the side of these cabs are made and the way the plate's going to go in, you can see kind of that angle in there, how it kind of sits sideways. So the mirrors are going to end up sitting kind of cockeyed a little bit, kind of like the factory ones do right now. So I think I'm going to have to add either a plate or some kind of a wedge in there so that the tow mirrors sit straight up and down and they're nice and level and flat. So when we figure that out tomorrow while we're in here, I'll go ahead and do a video on that. And I might do everything I'm doing on this truck, I've done not knowing what I'm doing, but with the help of YouTube and tutorial videos that are out there. It's making this a hell of a lot easier. So like I said in the beginning of this video, if I find stuff that people haven't done tutorials on, or the tutorials are just iffy, still have questions, I'll go ahead and throw some videos up. I'm just trying to check and see if there was anything else I forgot that I got. I'll go ahead and throw videos up, but I do have some plans for this truck after everything's done in here. I do need to put in new steps, single steps, Nerf bars, whatever you want to call them. I would like to have some of those in. I might be taking the door handle off, leaving the push button, and putting replica revolvers maybe over this handle here, or I might just remove the handle and drill the replica revolvers in. Again, all this sanding that you see on the truck, everything that's here, I've purposely done from the pipe fitting handles on the bed of the truck. The truck was fairly clean when I started this build, but I really just don't want it to be a clean truck. I mean, underneath I want it to be clean and running solid, but I really like that apocalyptic. This is probably the wrong time to be doing an apocalyptic build with the coronavirus rioting and everything else that's going on, but that was my intention a year ago when I started this truck. So I'm going to continue doing it that way. Sure, later on down the road, the antler on the roof is going to get pretty weathered out and I'll have to swap it, but that's just tied down with wire tie straps. And then, like I said, the front end, I am going to be doing the bullnose swap at some point. I just love how the bullnose looks on an OBS. So when I can find that truck, my brand new halo headlights are going to have to go, and the front bumper, but I think it's going to really work out in the long run. And I think that's about it. I can't think of anything else right now, so I'm going to get to work, and I will go ahead and post another video here real soon on the mirrors after they're installed. Couple videos here and there, tearing the turbo apart, installing the transmission. Probably I'll do a video on the transmission cooler. Still deciding on the air dog kit. My front hubs aren't locking completely, so I'm gonna have to get in there and figure out why they're not actually engaging. I might actually swap this front end out with a 2003-2007 front and rear axle, leaf springs, the whole setup, whatever it's going to take to convert that. So yeah, the past year I've just been going out, starting it up, letting it run, cycling everything, new fuel. So the truck's been doing real good. It's just time to get it back on the road. So really appreciate anybody that's watching these videos. I feel like I'm talking to myself sometimes, which I am. I'm standing out here in the driveway, nobody else is around me, just kind of talking to myself and any imaginary people that are here. Anyways, we will get a new video up tomorrow. Thanks.